Good now, everybody, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. It is your place for helpful news, commentary, answers to your crypto questions, and occasional shenanigans. Today is Monday, October 21st. We are so glad to be here with you.
Good morning, the Rise Up Morning Show.
Yeah, baby.
I forgot all about it.
You forgot about the jingle?
I wasn't.
But you didn't forget about night driving. I know you had night driving on. Someone said your soundboard is getting recognition in the crypto live world. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you very much. Frankly, the best part of the soundboard has always been you, Alex. Whenever Alex isn't here, I have soundboard Alex who can help me do this show with hot takes.
I will absolutely die on this hill.
Or just the occasional spiciness.
My dad can beat up your dad.
So
a timeless classic.
A timeless classic. I actually need to get. There are a couple I'm really missing that every now and then I reach for that I had taken off my soundboard to make room for some other things. So I gotta put them back on. You got to give the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? If there's something that you want from us, or if you're seeing us for the first time and you don't know what the hell you might want from a couple of guys who look like this, don't worry, you're in the right place. If you're curious, concerned about cryptocurrency, you want to learn about blockchain, that's the thing here today. This is the Rise Up Morning Show, and that's what we do. We are learning, growing together to help each other, as we say, rise up. I'm Evan, he's Alex, and here comes Mr. William Watson. William Watson the fourth even. What's going on, brother?
Even, yes. I'm still getting some things set up in my office, so I'll turn my camera on in one moment. Otherwise, it would just be distracting. But how's everybody doing?
Hey, man. Doing good.
So good.
Better now that you're here.
I'm a very specific kind of hungover right now. Because yesterday we were at the county fair, of course, to see if Christina won the crochet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and she
not only did she win, she took home grand champion for everything in the fiber art category. So dozens and dozens of different entries. So crushed it.
Whoa!
And then of course we ate funnel cake and deep fried Oreos, and I'm trashed because of it.
First of all, we got to give a big shout out to Christina. That is incredible. Alex, is there any way you can whip out the tweet real quick so you can screen share it? Because if you haven't seen this thing,
absolutely.
I mean, Will, have you seen it? Did you see the beehive?
I did. It was incredibly intricate.
I saw a picture of it on Twitter here, and in the background, there was like a sweater and a blanket, and I was like, oh, I was like, Granny, you don't even have a chance today.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It was just, I mean, everything Christina does is so impressive. We've got the screen share over on YouTube. You can find it on Christina's channel here on TikTok. I'm sure she'll be by the stream later, but this thing, I mean, look at those little bee buddies just waving their little hands and their little bee bonnets.
She was like, they put the bees in the wrong order.
They put the bees in the wrong order.
Because she's got, there's baby bees in bonnets, and then there's little honey pots with the little, the little lids, and then the queen has a gold ruffle and crown, and then there's the worker bees around there, and then obviously that whole thing is hollow, and it like sits on top of it when you close it, and then you can lift the lid off.
Bees that can't sting you, that are quiet, and that you can cuddle. I mean, like, what's not to love about these bees?
It's pretty good.
Crypto Machinery asks if it's better to join the YouTube just because of the screen share, and I would say for many reasons, yes, it is just generally better over there. So if you're in a position to stream the show on YouTube, I would say it's a better experience.
What I would say is it depends. I can type comments on my computer, so I can probably respond to your comments faster. There are less people, so you'll stand out more. But if the show becomes more popular on YouTube, then who knows? I don't know. I have to say it might be better on TikTok just because you guys are my people.
I mean, TikTok is the place. You're not going to get a bad experience anywhere, but
Well, were you doing a gesture? My eyes are bad.
It was a technical question. So I bought the super fancy camera, right, for StreamYard, and I'm trying to get in, but it says it doesn't have a microphone. So does it not have a microphone built in?
It may well not.
Camera probably
might well not. Okay, so I will put my face into StreamYard, but I will be talking through to the tiki-talkie audio.
Which should be fine, but you also should be able to adjust your settings. And I mean, you're using a computer, right? That presumably your computer will have a microphone. And you've not had any problems before in terms of there's been audio before. So come on in. Can you get in?
Yes.
Do you have the link?
Yeah. I found the link.
Well, hang on.
Just give me a second.
While Will is doing that, Evan, can we rejoice in one small? Everyone who's been watching the show for a while will get a kick out of this because I complain about this constantly, and I finally get to say something different. So, in the trending crypto panic section, what do we usually wake up to, Evan?
Cardano.
Yes, experts predicting a 40,000% rally and all sorts of other stuff. Well, today, guess what the experts are predicting instead? Just a good old 2,000% rally on Solana.
Oh,
2,000%?
wow,
Yes.
wow.
I wouldn't call that a rally so much as I'd call that like a revolution, an uprising.
I
think it would flip Bitcoin.
Jeez.
I just love, I don't know. These headlines always crack me up because I have to believe there's someone out there who reads it and says, "Oh my God, it's time at the farm." But like, all of it, like, chat, if you guys help me out, because I have to believe that every one of us who reads a headline like that, like expert predicts incoming 40,000% rally in altcoin, whatever, we have to be like, who the hell is this expert? And what the hell are they talking about? Right? I mean, I agree with Mel. Like, yes, Solana, give me 2,000%. That would be sweet. But like, we read that and we're all just, laughing, right? Or crying. One of the two, or both.
Doug says it reminds me of the crypto trader who sees the perfect setup, and I don't know what video he's referring to. Sorry, Will, I rugged you. Go ahead.
It just makes me think that whatever leg in the bull run we're in is over, and potentially the whole bull run is over. But it's just like every single time you hear that, you go, "Oh man, we're like about to have bad times."
We're
about to have bad times.
So, Will, you guessed Apechain, and I do have it on the notes to talk a little bit about Ape today. Apecoin, Apechain, Yuga in general. Maybe we should start with that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do see that Life the Journey had a question about that too. What made Ape pump yesterday?
Yeah, so the pump. Well, Will, do you want to? I know, Will, you did a video about it yesterday or this morning.
Yeah. But if you want to start, go for it.
Yeah, so just a little bit of background, right? So Apecoin is the cryptocurrency that was originally launched side by side with the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collection. And Apecoin has been around for a little while now. I don't remember exactly when it launched, but the Bored Ape Yacht Club minted in like February of 2021, and Apecoin came out in like 22 or 23 or something like that.
I think it came after the mutants.
It was definitely after the mutants. Definitely
after the mutants.
And it was before
the Kennel Club. It was after the other side. It was after Dookie Dash.
It was
after Dookie. I thought it was before Dookie Dash.
It was before the game.
It was before Dookie Dash. Yeah.
But the let me see where it's at now on the list. So the reason, obviously, if you're just hearing about it for the first time right now, the reason that it's on everyone's mind is because it just did like 100% in the last 24 hours or the last 48 hours or something. This week. So as of the 19th, it was flat at 70-ish. And then over the next couple days, it ran up to $1.70, and now it's sort of sitting at $1.60. So why? Because it just, kind of exploded out of nowhere. Well, because the new trend is you get a layer 2, everyone's launching a layer 2. Apechain is being discussed way more than just a rumor, and it might have gone live yesterday. I didn't actually follow up to see if
it's live. I've used it.
Okay. So one of the big things that I noticed was that his name is escaping me, but let me pull up the old Twitter and get it. They signed on some new help, some people to sort of help, usher the chain forward, I think, in more of a BD perspective. And that was exciting because the guy that they signed, who I will have up here.
Talking about 0x Quit?
Yes, thank you.
Because I'm pretty sure he's the COO now. And he's fairly famous over on Twitter for being a do-gooder and educator and helpful, what you might call influencer.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been really impressed and appreciative.
For them. I didn't know that Bored Ape did that. That's nice.
Yeah, he's great.
They also have a couple other, so the game obviously kind of made a big splash, Dookie Dash, when it came out. And then they're doing another one, second one. And the studio building it is pretty solid. I was actually lucky enough to be, so the simplified Twitter space over on X, and I'll pull up Sam's profile here so you guys can follow him because he's the man. We were discussing it a couple weeks ago, and actually the lead developer for that game just so happened to be in the audience, and he came up and we got to kind of go back and forth and talk about it. Generally people had, some reservations, but he answered. I thought he crushed the answers. Plus that's just a nerve-wracking thing, zero prep, and just come into a semi-hostile environment and just talk about the whole project and all of the things and defend it, and have everyone who was, I don't want to say hostile, but confrontational at least, thinking that you crushed it. He did a very good job. So right now, I think the whole Ape ecosystem is kind of in a really interesting little spot, and I'm curious to see where it goes. The coin pumping on news of the chain going live makes sense. I would imagine there will be a steep correction just because Ape's got a lot of holders that are probably seeing some profit right now. They honestly, are salty.
They're probably still under. I had a lot of comments on the video I made where they're like, it went up 100% and I'm still down 60%.
Yeah. Well, the all-time high was, $25, and it's, it hit $1.
I think it launched at $8. So everybody instantly, if you were an ape holder or a mutant ape holder, you had thousands, tens of thousands. Some people had hundreds of thousands of dollars in this token.
And of course, Tony, the infamous Tony from Journey Crypto, the one who was watching the Bored Apes mint back when it was live, and nobody was buying it, because remember, back in the day when they went live, they did not sell out immediately. This was in the beginning of the whole PFP thing, which is why everyone and their grandmother has done an ape derivative. And so they launched, and they were selling those things for $1, $2. Oh, Evan, rug. Evan's just fighting for his life in the background. But anyway, so Tony's telling everyone hey, you guys might want to grab one of these things. They're free. You were paying gas, and it was a couple bucks. Tony ended up with 158 of them.
Damn.
Yeah, and he kept them. He kept all of them. So number one, Bored Ape holder for a long time. I do not know how many he still has. I have stopped following him ages ago. But when Apecoin came out, he still had all of those. And so the airdrop to him was worth $15 million, which is insane. So I vividly remember him posting that the day that it happened, so I just got an airdrop. It's a lot.
It was a small one.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Will, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Ape, because if we take our a little trip down memory lane, when Apecoin launched, and I will stand by this, this opinion I'm about to share is independent of what has happened to Apecoin and that whole ecosystem since then. But at the time when it launched, they were also cutting edge at that point. NFT collections weren't launching tokens. at that point.
Yeah.
En masse. Certainly not the way that they got up to then later. And I thought that it was so cool because of a couple things. One, there was a shitload of demand for those NFTs at the time. Remember, I'm taking us back in time right now. At the time, tons of people wanted an ape. Bored, mutant, whatever. The floor was insane. They were very expensive. And if you wanted a piece of the ecosystem, you could get it with just a few bucks and buying a couple tokens, which was very cool because it opened the doors for way more people to come into the ecosystem than could afford one of these NFTs. And at the time, I'm going to keep saying that because I know people are rolling in. At the time, the Bored Ape Yacht Club was home to lots of celebrities. At this time, lots of celebrities were like buying one and getting in there and talking about them. And Paris Hilton, Snoop Dogg, Justin Bieber, all these people had Bored Ape PFPs. So sky was the limit, right? And the other cool thing was that if you were a holder, and let's say you just had one, and you ever wanted to realize any sort of profit from your decision to hold an ape, you had to sell it, which sucked, which is a horrible model. I'm on record bitching about this literally for years now. Just how, like, one of the major flaws with NFT collections in general was that if you had something that got so expensive that people could maybe only afford one, and then they wanted to reap the benefits of like their decision, as Evan does some light construction in the background.
Evan, mute your mic.
Listen, guys, you're giving me the perfect opportunity. I just really wanted to get this thing up. Okay, thank you very much. Please continue.
Yeah.
So then you had to sell your one NFT that you saved up for, and now you're hoping that it like craters in price so you can buy back in at a lower entry, or you have to go buy a worse one than the one that you sold to like take profit. And that's just a shitty experience, because then the person who is like making your community good by holding the thing and buying into it has no opportunity to realize anything from it, just because they would have to leave the community to realize the profit, and that kind of sucks. So it was cool to see the token come out, because now those people had something that they could use to realize some profit, and there was a good demand loop for it because they could realize profit into people who wanted to get into the community at a much lower entry price than they could by getting an NFT, and the benefits were not the same. So at the time, I was like, this has the potential to be super cool and to totally change the game and the way that these things work. Fast forward, it didn't quite go that way, which was a bummer. I think lots of balls were fumbled, which was
they just
unfortunate.
invested everything into their metaverse, which was the other side, and then metaverses went the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
And then it moved even worse for the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Yuga Labs, which is the name of the company who made and manages the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collection. They made this metaverse called The Other Side, and they said, hey, we have 100,000 land parcels. Everyone's like, great, people are diving in, having a good time with it. But then there was a bad PR move where they're like, hey, we're also going to release in the future another 100,000 land parcels. Now completes the amount of land that's in The Other Side. And people did not like that, because you're doubling supply, right?
Yeah.
Of something that is supposed to be seen as exclusive, NFTs, because people want the value to go up. So investors in the community did not like that. What?
Don't forget the absolute shitstorm catastrophe that was The Other Side mint. Like, that is a day, I think, in Web3 and NFT history that will go down in the history books.
And the gas fees were ridiculous. And that's actually where the first idea in the Bored Ape Yacht Club community was to make their own chain. Yes. And then people were pissed off at them, be like, oh, why didn't you just use like an L2? Why do you have to make your own chain? You're just out here trying to grab money. That's why you released an extra 100,000 land parcels. And then Yuga Labs got a bunch of bad PR, and everyone just started throwing mud at them for being like trying to just grab as much money as possible, right? And that was just like the attitude of the day. And then for the past 2 years, Bored Ape Yacht Club has done nothing, seemingly. They've been building this, obviously, in the background, but like you had Pudgy Penguins get a toy deal with like Target or whatever.
Walmart.
You saw Doodles.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I accidentally invited Jessica up. I'm just doing my own side quest up here while you guys are giving excellent commentary.
Evan's trying his damnedest to rug the show, and then meanwhile, Will's cell phone service is rugging himself.
Oh,
He's back.
Ironically,
Hey,
I was
Jessica.
going to request up later. I'm still setting up. I just barely got in the office.
Well, here, don't fret. You request when you're ready. Come on back. I'll let you get set up. And sorry for bringing you up before you're ready. It's so lovely to see you, Jessica. We'll catch
Good
up with you in a
morning,
bit.
guys.
morning.
Bye for now. Sorry, guys. Continue.
Will,
Doodles, you're
reset.
saying.
Back to we lost you at
passed
Doodles.
that. But it was just like when I first saw like, oh, Apechain's here. I was like, okay, like great. Like we have another blockchain in a space full of blockchains, and this one probably doesn't need to exist, right? It's probably not going to be some ultra competitive chain with transactions per second, with onboarding like with Base, because it can feed people from Coinbase onto it. And then I was like, hang on a second, let me think about this. Like Yuga Labs has a ton of money still. They're valued at $4 billion. So they can have very, very profitable grants to bring developers on chain to build. So maybe they can actually have some things to build. And also they're like focusing a lot on gaming. I'm like, okay, cool. Like that could be cool and fun. We'll see what comes out of it. They have a lot of connections, deep pockets. But the big thing is they're the first NFT collection in that I've seen that is now tapping into the meme coin craze. Because you can now, as a Bored Ape Yacht Club holder or a Mutant Ape Yacht Club holder, claim airdrops from their pump.fund. So I can now claim airdrops from like any meme coin that is made on there that allows a Mutant Ape Yacht Club holder to claim an airdrop for it. You can do the same thing with the Bored Ape too. So now you're an NFT holder from one of these old blue chip, I'm doing air quotes because Bored Ape Yacht Club kind of lost their blue chip status, if you will. They have to reclaim it. But they're the first ones to tap into the meme coin craze right now, which is the hottest craze in all the space. This pump.fund, kind of solution. It's the first one to do that. That could be a lot of money. And then I saw someone else tweet this morning, and I didn't verify it on chain, so take this with a grain of salt. But ApeCoin has about a $1.2 billion market cap, right about there, and only 2% as of about 2 hours ago of the entire supply that's out there has been bridged from ETH to Apechain, which means there could be a lot of money that flows into these Apechain meme coins, which could potentially provide a lot of opportunity naturally, natively within the ApeCoin ecosystem. And so I went, interesting. So you have a lot of money that could feed directly onto chain and then play around with meme coins, because that's the number one favorite thing for people to do right now. And at the same time, you now have a new incentive tied into the hottest trend in crypto right now, whether you think it's healthy or not, it is meme coins. By being a Bored Ape Yacht Club and a Mutant Ape Yacht Club member or holder, you can profit off of that and claim airdrops. So I went,
wait a
that's
second.
interesting.
I have a question. Just to clarify, you're saying that really all it is it's a claim mechanism. People who launch meme coins can set aside, there's like a built-in button now for them to set aside, ape holders can claim this for an airdrop based on, holding an NFT from that smart contract in their wallet. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
not,
that's exactly it.
you're not talking about like innovating the token standard itself.
No.
Like, okay. I don't think that's that innovative. I think
No. It's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just am saying I don't think it's that innovative. That's not a them feature. That's like a pump.fund feature. And surely whatever architecture they're using to do that could absolutely be used to like target holders of DeGods or Pudgy Penguins or anything else. I don't know. I just don't think it's that innovative.
Well, the thing is with Apechain, it's going to be exclusive to the Yuga Labs NFT ecosystem. And I say it's innovative because it's the first time you have an NFT set like that, like one of the old big ones, connect and plug holders directly into being able to benefit without having to buy or sell meme coins from the meme coin craze. And I went, that's cool. And I think what you'll see, and you're seeing it right now, Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs up 30 to 40% in the past 24 hours also.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still don't think it's innovative, or I take umbrage with your claim. Like, are you hip to Um,
Well, I'm not saying it's innovative. I am saying that it is something that will provide value to NFTs in a way that people haven't done yet and will drive demand for the NFT set, which drives liquidity in Yuga Labs ecosystem. The memes will also drive liquidity in Yuga Labs ecosystem if they're able to attract people on chain. And also Apecoin's market cap being large and not a lot of it having bridged yet is also another way to add liquidity into the ecosystem. 3 different pipelines of liquidity into a chain that then gets people's eyeballs, because if TVL goes up, if number goes up, if bridging goes up, it gets eyeballs, people start talking about it, and then more people run to it. Well, I'm not saying this is innovative. I'm saying you have more potential rods being cast into the lake of we're going to get people on this chain and get money than some other folks.
Yeah, totally. 100%. And I agree. I think they're doing a real smart thing by giving them multiple ways to start playing. And my next question for you is going to be, and don't let me derail you, but I'd really like to know what you said you spent some time monkeying around there. What it's been like so far. Uptime, downtime, fun time, bad time.
I would say the first 12 hours of it being up has been herky-jerky at best. It hasn't been the greatest experience. I went to go claim, I'm a Mutant Ape Yacht Club holder, so I went to go claim my airdrops, but the airdrop feature is currently under maintenance, so isn't working right now. I got into the Telegram and asked a question. The people who are like, it's like their pump.fun, which is called Ape Express. Got into the Ape Express Telegram, asked, and I was like, hey, this isn't working. They said it's under maintenance. I was like, all right. And then if you go on Ape Express, which is their pump.fun thing, it's like a very herky-jerky experience right now. So, the experience of using it hasn't been the greatest. I did bridge some Apecoin from ETH over to the Apechain to throw a gamble into the gamble casino. And, it did, like, the site wasn't working at first. You could tell like it was kind of crashing from like people hopping on trying to bridge, I feel like. And so it took me a little bit to bridge, but still within like 15 minutes or so, I'd finished it. I just had to like refresh the website 3 or 4 times. And yeah, so everything so far has been a herky-jerky experience. It hasn't been the greatest.
Well, could you say herky-jerky one more time?
Herky-jerky.
I do think it's cool that we'll kind of get to like follow this along as like with you as a holder.
Yeah,
just kind of see how that goes.
And then I bought a meme. I threw $500 into this one meme coin, guys, and I'm down 40% already.
Great.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
We had a couple questions roll through, and some of them are rapid fire questions, like asking us about this or that token. One of them I saw was Benji. Will, is that the meme coin on base that you held for a while? That dog token?
Yes.
I have no idea what it's doing, but figured you might have a closer look as somebody who holds it or held it or petted it once.
Petted it once. Let me pull it up. I'm pretty sure it's not the hottest. Yeah. It doesn't really look particularly healthy right now, but altcoins haven't really rallied across the board yet recently, so we'll see. It hasn't made a new relative higher high. It's made some higher lows. It has a little bit of a triple top pattern on its chart right now, so it doesn't look the greatest. Like you can't see confirmation of strength on it at the moment. And right now, I've been noticing cat-themed meme coins doing much better than dog-themed meme coins across the board. So
Science.
It's a dog coin, not a cat coin.
Yeah.
There you go. So, it's just not in the hottest meme trend at the moment, but, they're closely tied to the base team. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And what are we looking at for cats on base? Mochi is the top cat on base. Is that right?
No, that would be Mochi's actually pretty small. It's what's the name? Toshi.
So I hedge your bets. Doug sent me an interesting fun thing the other day that somebody had compiled and was launching more meme coin emoji coins. And they had a little cute dashboard that was just like a little like emoji race to the finish line by market cap, and you could see, you know, which emoji meme coin, whether it was goat or dog or cat or whatever, and it had links to pump.fun. You could click the emoji, and the deck screener page would show up if it was launched there, and you could just speculate on little emoji meme coins. And I think I put
That's
you know,
cute.
like $15 into like 10 of them. And I'm pretty sure most of them are down at least 60% right now. But that's what happens when you're in the meme coin casino, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
Yeah, the
someone
meme
else.
coin that I bought at the time was a $30,000 market cap, which is, I think, the smallest market cap coin I've ever put any kind of money into.
Oh, really? That's like my sweet spot, man. If we're talking about
Oh,
meme
yeah.
tokens,
That's-
yeah.
That's my
30
sweet
30K
spot.
is a bit rich for my blood.
Yeah. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
Alex. That's kind of big for you.
I don't-
23 now.
I don't meme often, but when I do, it's like $10 into something with a market cap of like $30.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Someone
It's
asked-
just, you know.
Just a quick note for everybody curious. Someone asked about Bepe. Just be aware that they are currently actively paying influencers, and I have yet to see a single disclaimer of paid promotion. Every Bepe video that you see right now was paid for, and not a single one of them so far that I've seen has admitted that they were paid, which is a crime.
Yeah.
Funny. Literally a crime.
Literally a crime.
Quite literally a crime. Funny,
Yep.
I haven't seen a single Bepe video.
Gerbaz, my sweet, chill. All right,
Have you heard about Pace God?
settle down.
Oh, is that what he was asking? There he is.
Yeah, I think
We've heard about
Pace
it.
God.
We heard about it 4 times in the last 2 minutes.
Yep,
Thanks
we've
to
heard.
you.
Take a breath.
You know, I really don't. I don't hear a lot about it these days, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Nick, you
I don't
guys
know.
tried to get me to buy it.
Right now, meme coins are, to me, the feeling of that I get when I look at them is the difference. Like the difference between, you know, when everything was insane exploding is right now. It's like it's a desperation thing. It's like a, hey, we're all underwater now because we didn't know when to walk away and we all made terrible decisions. So please, like, someone buy my bags. That's the vibe that I have in memes right now, where like it's not as exciting as it was before because a lot of this is driven by desperation. So in that sense, like, keep it in mind. You know, every now and then, like, a thing happens that we turn into a coin that still does, you know, like when Mu Dang first took over the internet. Which, by the way, I keep telling Christina she needs to go into the whole, like, just start crocheting mascots for meme coins.
Sell that for $100.
Game
I would buy
over.
that for I'd buy that for 60.
There you go. I keep telling her, I was like, you know, just sell something. She's like, no, nobody wants this stuff. I'm like, no, all right.
I would buy it for $65. I mean, I bought a Magic Carp plushie for $68. So, you know.
There you go.
There you go.
Target acquired.
Target acquired.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, we can keep bandying words about different memes. The vibe I have right now is that it's, like I said, it's a little bit desperate, and
I was
I'm like,
faced with Dogecoin too. You know, it's just how memes go.
yep.
Yeah, and I definitely think people are at that stage in the cycle where they're I keep seeing the question, like, when is the bull run coming? When the bull run comes, will this happen? Will that happen? Will this happen? Will that happen? Which tells me I think people are talking about that again. Like it's a thing you should be watching out for and preparing for. And the bull run, I think I have a great analogy. The bull run is like Santa Claus. That it sees you when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It's not coming now, but it's coming soon. Before you know it, it'll be here. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better be DCAing into the tokens you have conviction in. Okay.
Turn
If
that
you
into a
put-
song. And
Yeah,
play
I'll
with the
think about
guitar.
it.
Dress up as Santa.
Pull out your guitar, do a little strum along. You know.
Yeah, and one of those little string-on beards. Yeah,
I
the
mean,
moral.
It could be good. We've seen crypto songs get pretty popular before in the past. Who's
That
that,
would
that guy who like dressed up as the astronaut and had like some good raps or whatever? Shit.
Oh man, I don't know about that one, but I do
Yeah,
remember.
what I'm
I
talking
don't care about your crypto, boy. I
Yes.
love that one. That one
Yeah.
was a banger.
They are
man.
all top signals, and they are all wonderful.
When I bring that up though, just
all
to say that, like, if you're feeling that frenzy, that FOMO, somebody was saying in our chat the other day, they were talking about, you know, I've been putting off buying Bitcoin because I haven't, caught the right price time. And this time, anytime before Santa comes is a great time to be a good little kid. Anytime before the bull run happens is the time to be making moves to build conviction and then act on it. You don't want to be buying Bitcoin when it's up, 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 up. You want to be buying Bitcoin on the journey, on the way. You don't want to stand in front of Santa Claus and have to lie to him about how you didn't hit your little brother. You want to just be a good kid so that when Christmas shows up, your presents are under the tree. It is the kind of thing. It's a clunky analogy, but if people are telling you the bull run is coming, the best thing you can do to prepare is just spend some time building conviction. Get some price targets. What do you think things are going to do? And are you positioned or prepared to pivot if things change? I think that's the name of the game.
Speaking of pivoting, are we ready for a slight conversation change that I cannot wait to get Will's input on?
I would say that's a yes, Alex. Take us there.
All right. William.
You guys practice that?
No, I'm just lucky, I guess.
No, we're just that good. So
Just that good.
okay. Will, you, like me, are a purveyor of fine and fancy cardboard.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely don't have multiple thousands of dollars of cardboard in this room.
He's definitely not a nerd.
Yes, as I am actively deck building and taking apart and resorting, and I just added a new binder, so now I can get even more specific with what goes in what binder and what order.
Funny, I have a bunch of cards set. I have to go. There's a card store that's an hour and a half train ride outside of Boston. That's the best card store in Massachusetts, and I called them, and they have. I'm sorry, I rugged you, Alex, but they have a bunch of
I started
Pikachu hoodie cards. Oh, they're so good, but they're like $9,000. So I'm gonna go trade a bunch of cards in and see if I can get a good deal. So we'll see. But anyway.
Well, you might want to save a couple pennies for this thing that I'm about to show you because I'm obsessed. I have lots of bookmarks now, and I'm actively waiting. But check this out. So I'm gonna screen share over here on YouTube, and Evan, maybe you can hook me up with an assist on TikTok.
Here it comes.
All right. So this is called the Collector Crypt, and it's really cool. Okay, so essentially what these are, what we're looking at here, and now they do a couple other things. I've just started to dig. One of my friends sent this to me yesterday or the other day, just like as a, hey, you're aware of this, right? And I'm like, not only am I not aware of it, but I'm now immediately and hopelessly obsessed. So these are all graded. These are graded slabs, meaning that these are cards that have been sent and given to one of the many grading agencies and then slabbed. And there's a number of different ones. There's CGC, there's PSA, there's Beckett, BGS. There's a couple of different, you can look up and see, like a lot of people who are into this kind of thing, they have their favorites, whatever.
PSA is the standard, but Beckett is the hardest grader.
Correct. Yeah. If you get a Beckett 10 is usually harder to come by than a PSA 10. A CGC 10 is also, definitely not bad, but, they all have kind of their own standards. They all have their different costs to get something graded. It kind of depends on, what do you like? A lot of these are very individual. And then, of course, it depends on what kind of card we're looking at. If I'm buying a very rare Magic card, I'm totally cool with an 8.5 and up, just because Magic cards hold their value as grades go down way better than Pokemon, for example.
Yes.
Okay. The cool thing about these is that there's also NFTs collected or created alongside of them to verify the grades that they've received and to list into NFT token metadata the different attributes of these different things. And actually, Magic Eden has even more, which is an NFT marketplace. So you purchase the NFT and then they ship you the card slab at the same time, and then you get both. And they have. Let's go in here a little bit. They have, a bunch of different stuff. So obviously there's lots of different Pokemon cards. I mean, I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh cards, there's sports cards, there's of course Magic cards. all this kind of stuff. They're not all going to be the same. So like I've noticed that a lot of them are CGC grades. However, I mean, there's a Beckett right there. There's a lot of PSAs floating around. But I am pretty into these. This is exciting. And there's another thing that I'm stoked about that kind of goes hand in hand here. So Pudgy Penguins.
Dude, I was waiting for this.
Pudgy Penguins is creating a trading card game with physical cards and, of course, NFTs that go along with the cards. The game is called Vibes. I haven't gone super deep on it yet, but I am pretty stoked. And these things have been being auctioned off. And actually, I'm annoyed because this exact one right here, I bid on, and then I got outbid at the very last second.
Is that saying it's hard to see 3.2 ETH?
Soul. 3.2 Soul.
Oh, 3.2 Soul. Can you justify what?
Can I just buy the physical cards?
What you're buying is the physical card. You just get an NFT to mark that you have the card.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Nita says, the way my brain just took a whole vacation until you said Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah.
I knew you were coming around to it, man. When I saw the picture, one of you posted in chat of a Pudgy Penguin on a magic looking trading card with a little grade on it, I was like, oh, it's over. They cracked it. They're done. Pack it up, go home. This such a long time coming kind of move by them. Such a brilliant move. And what a great way to incorporate more people's penguins into something that matters.
Yep. And
so
now
good.
I need to go and rip packs.
Yep. So to be fair,
guys, I'm gonna be listening, but I'm also Googling where to buy.
This is fair. I knew that I was going to do this when I shared this with you. To be fair, though, this is not the first NFT-based trading card collection that we've seen. Gary V and V Friends has been doing this for a while, and I think I love the V Friends. I'm a big fan. I've been a fan of the way that they've talked about that whole thing. I mean, whether you are into it or not, whether you're a fan of Gary V or not, I find the way that he's been talking about all of this kind of stuff for a while to be helpful. I think that he's got the right idea, and you're either into it or you're not, and it really doesn't matter. But as far as I know, there's not like those are collectible specifics, and the impression I'm getting here is that Vibes is a specific game. And so I have a lot more kind of digging to do, but I'm really into this, especially because the trading card thing is something we're kind of seeing get represented a little bit more in the Web3 area. Parallel is a really, really cool Web3 based game that is trading card adjacent. They don't have physical cards, but that's sort of like the way that the gameplay itself works. You know, you collect cards. Wild Card, which I'm excited because we're going to get the Bettners on at some point to talk about it, but that is also sort of like a, combination trading card game with like MOBA feel, open battlefield kind of thing. And I just think these are so much, it's so much cooler to have like specific collectibles that do things in a game that I get to have a token to represent. Like that's the way that I like to do tokens. Regardless of cost of whatever, I have like a reason to be into these kinds of things. I'm a big card collector. Will's a big card collector. Two different flavors, but my Magic card collection is bigger than my crypto collection by a non-insignificant margin. My dad can beat up your dad.
My investment in crypto is significantly larger, but once I finish my aerodrome trade, I'm going to Collecticon in Las Vegas. Yeah.
When is that?
I will. The date for 2025 isn't set yet. If you guys don't know, Collecticon is the largest trading card collectible kind of a convention in the world, and they do it in several different places. But I'm going to be buying a Pokemon base set booster box. That's about 30 grand. I will be ripping it. I will be opening that pack because those Pokemon need to be free, man. They need to be free in the world. We need to appreciate them. And then I will be buying my Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. We'll see. It depends on how much money I make. I might still limit myself to one of those two, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. I'm also going with my buddy who he has his own card collecting business, so we'll have a table too, and we'll be doing business there too.
We'll
so
put a pin in this because I really want to go with you.
I'll let you know. Yeah. And also, we'll have a free place to stay in Vegas. So we'll spend a bunch of money on cardboard, but we'll save money on travel.
Hell. So last thing I was going to share is just this is a little quick aside. This is one that I'm one of many that I'm looking at. So these are like the OG dual lands in Magic, kind of a big deal, and I'm just obsessed with the fact that I can buy this with Solana. I'm very excited about that. And totally. it's a CGC 9 on these. I mean, this is one of those cards that, like, the grade really doesn't matter. You could get a 5 and it's still going to be hundreds of dollars. But very exciting. So anyway, that is your trip down nerd lane for the day with crypto
nerd lane.
And I'm pretty stoked.
So let me ask you one.
If you want to set up your profile on Pudgy Penguin's trading game, you can use the referral link that I just put in the Discord.
No way. All right. Okay. We're all going to be there later today. You guys good if I bring our friend Jessica back? She had a question, and or she I think was getting her office all set up. She said to join the stream. Give us your final thought on it.
If this is something of interest to you, stay tuned because I am bringing, of course, one of my friends, the friend who introduced me to this whole thing, is friends with the people that own Collector Crypt and built it, started it, whatever. And we're gonna do some content
on the show.
with them. They're gonna come on the show, so I'm pretty excited.
Okay, cool. Hey, Jessica, welcome.
Good morning, guys.
Great to see you.
I tried to send you the sample spreadsheet in Discord, but once again, I found another glitch. Apparently, Discord doesn't like spreadsheets.
Oh, really? I downloaded the file, but I haven't gotten around to looking through it yet. I've just been busy. Is this it that we're looking at here?
Yep.
Okay, great.
To zoom in here so that you guys can see it a little bit better.
Now, if you're on the YouTube stream, you're missing out. We're getting this only on TikTok. Let me make this a commercial real quick. Pause to say, Jessica is one of the people who's hanging out in our community. She's here all the time. She's in the Discord. And if you want to get a glimpse at this, I'm sure we can put it over there. So please continue.
Like you were asking about a spreadsheet that you could set up so that you can track your gains and losses. So I kind of whipped up a little sample real quick.
Love it.
And so like you got your token, the date, the amount of the token, the value at time of purchase, and then any fees. And then your sales slide down here and same information. And then you can calculate your value of your sales. But what I was also, I think a lot of people get confused when I talk about manufactured losses. It's if you're doing a spreadsheet like this and you can track what you bought when, like here I made, sold 2 tokens for $5. Well, I need to decide which tokens I sold. So for example, if I sold these 2, my basis would be the $3 and I'd have a gain. But if I sold these 2 for the $5, it'd be a 0. This is what Angel was trying to explain.
Talking about, how you can maximize your profit or your loss by choosing which tokens you're buying or selling. Yeah.
Exactly. But you have to be able to prove it. You have to track it. And if I were you, I would save this information for at least 10 years.
10 years, dang. Oh man. I might need to have a boating accident.
That's why I just use a coin tracker.
Yeah.
I pay for their service just to track all the movement of wallets and stuff, just so I can be like, if I ever get audited from my accountant, I'll just throw them the paperwork and go figure it out. Have a good time.
Because what they do is that automatic FIFO. So it would be first in, first out. And you would automatically, these 2 would have been this one by the FIFO rule.
It's hard to see. It's hard to see from here all the granular details. So don't fret about getting in too close. I'll take your word for it. I think it's the TLDR takeaway is really just if you don't have a good system to track your crypto, it can be as simple as a spreadsheet like this, where you just input And change it every time you do something. Yeah. Anytime you're going to buy, you're going to sell or update it monthly, that kind of thing. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. It's great to see your face, Jessica.
I know I'm not just the words writing in the chat.
Yeah, I had told Jessica when she told me about that spreadsheet, I said, "Oh, you should make that a file, and we could put it in the server store at the riseupmorningshow.com, and then if you guys want it, you can support Jessica, support the show, support your taxes. It would be really cool." You shaking your head? No, you don't want us to put it in the store? We could do it.
Don't bother following me. I don't make a lot of content.
No, but you are in the Rise Up Discord server where I will say I look forward all the time to, now that you got, what was the token you got that came with the Bloomberg subscription? Because you're always dropping the.
It was an NFT that I had got, and it was the Believe NFT from Forbes. And Alex had to help me get it because I always find the glitch.
Well, shucks. I'm glad that you guys worked it out because I always look forward to your posts. They're very insightful, and I always appreciate it when you drop a good news article in there because there's always something that I'm missing that helps me stay current. So I appreciate you.
Not a problem. Let me jump back down before I have somebody walk in the door.
Hey, no fret, no sweat. You're welcome on the show anytime, Jessica, and we'll catch your spreadsheet in Discord. Bye for now.
See you, Jessica.
Hey, if you've got a question for us, you've got a comment, you want to talk about your favorite cryptocurrency, you want to know if you should buy Dogecoin like your nephew Carl says, or you're just curious about what blockchain is and how it works, then feel free to leave it in the comments or tap the request button if you're one of our friends in the community to come on up. If you're not one of our friends in the community yet, have I got a deal for you right now and forever for the low price of free. You can jump into the Rise Up Morning Show Discord at discord.gg/riseup. It is the best place to connect with other learners at all levels of experience, just like you. When we have live courses, when we have new digital products, when we have, a stream or a guest or something cool coming up, that's going to be the place you're going to find out about it first. For example, we just dropped to the premium members this week's free course. The final free course in our October series is going to be Portfolio Principles. It's going to be like a clinic on how to build or revise your crypto portfolio if you're trying to figure out how to do your own research, how to come up with a price target. So you're not just buying Arrow when it's way up and then wondering why it went down, or chasing green candles on Sui or whatever. In context with other people who are learning just like you. We're going to drop the link in the general chat today. So you want to be over there in the Discord server to get that. And then all the other cool stuff that we're doing too is going to be there first. It's a place where everybody is learning, growing, and we say rising up together. All that's missing is you. So be there. Guys, what are you thinking about next? What's on your schedule?
So
the only thing that's on my schedule is how do I get these pudgy penguin cards?
Will has become a full penguin degenerate in about 20 minutes.
They hit me in the right place. Just combining crypto with slabs. Okay?
Honestly,
as I knew that they would.
So good.
I mean,
feel like I'm late, but I think you're right on time, Will.
No, dude, I'm so into it. I want it to be clear that I'm into it not because I think that this is like an incredible investment that's just going to absolutely skyrocket, but just because I'm obsessed with people using blockchain and tokens for stuff like this. I
think it is cool.
That's it. It's literally just cool because I'm constantly looking for reasons to buy something in the Web3 space that give me something cool that I want, that has like value to me, that I don't care necessarily about, the investability of it, because that's the way that eventually the space gets mass interest and mass adoption on the scale of, things that we're shooting for. Can't get mass adoption until you have mass interest. And until there's something that is not just like a kind of cringy investment scheme, you're not going to get mass interest. And stuff like this starts to chip away at that barricade that I think is keeping masses out,
Yeah, and that's why it's advantageous to be an early adopter. Like, whether or not you invest in this kind of technology, being present to what it can do, what it will do, will help you spot the opportunities when they come a little closer to your personal neighborhood.
That's a very good point. And
take advantage of them. You know what I mean? That's why I like it.
Which is, again, just another... Sorry, Evan, to rug you.
Go ahead.
That is yet another reason to like take time and learn about this specifically, learn about this stuff like with more depth than just the superficial, like, is token X or Y a better short-term investment? Like, sure, that's a strategy. And Evan and I have been talking a lot lately about like wanting to specifically make sure that it's clear we're not knocking people who just want to invest in stuff. I think that's completely fine. But I firmly and deeply believe that even if you only want to superficially invest in things and kind of skip from token to token, you're not like, married to it, which I do think is healthy, that you still are served by getting that kind of like more fundamental understanding of why the stuff is what it is, like why it matters, like why does anyone give a shit about this? Because that's the ultimate value thesis for like a token potentially becoming a better and better and better investment. It's like more people than just the people trying to swing trade it, giving a shit about it.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to say, I have a feeling that Keiko might have been talking about us when he said, guys, it's getting boring. But I'm going to assume he was talking about the market and say that, Keiko, that's the best time, like Nina says, to invest. If things are boring, if things feel a little stale, it is a good time to look at what you have long-term conviction in and say, is it on sale? Is there a discount here? And if there is, that's when you go to the store and buy. Oh
You
my
want to know what
God.
I'm angry about? There's no buy function. I'm trying to get this on eBay right now. I'm sorry, I'm not being engaging, guys. There's no buy button. Why is there no buy button?
Why would they have why no buy?
How
Why
much is the box, Will?
Take my money. It's $144 for booster box. I don't care. Take my money.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
If there's someone here from Pudgy Penguins,
I'm sure we could probably like get on a call with somebody. After the show, we're gonna search our contest.
Just give me one booster. Just give me one, man. Just give me one more hit.
Tori says, "LOL." This angle of Will, she's watching on the YouTube. She said he is spiraling.
Oh yeah, right. I haven't even seen what it looks like over there.
Real quick, I see David has been persistent in asking this question, and I don't think he's seeing my comments. So give me a second to address our friend David Baxter down there. Hey, David, welcome to the show. He says, I have plenty of cryptos on centralized exchanges. I need help getting them to decentralized with DEX navigation. And hey, David, you're in the right place. We just had a class yesterday called How to DeFi, and we'll offer it again live. But you can get the recording right now on our website, theriseupmorningshow.com. It's $15 to get the recording, or you can sign up for a premium trial and get it for as low as $6. If you don't want to shell out money, I completely get it. It will be easier for us to answer your question and deal with specific examples if you jump in the Rise Up Discord. Of course, it might take a second for somebody to get back to you kind of thing. We're doing a show right now. But if you post a question in there, we'll answer it. Let us know what kind of help you want, and we'll see if we can't get you squared away. You got to know about centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges and how they work together. That's for sure. And I hope that we can help you out. Guys, I wanted to ask you another one too. I had somebody contact me through our Facebook page, our new and growing Facebook page for the Rise Up Morning Show.
Shout out.
Who bought Bitcoin in 2009, forgot about it, and remembered it. And now they're in a good spot, but not the best spot. Okay, so they used a wallet that did have a seed phrase, which is pretty impressive for 2009 because not a lot of them did.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote it down physically, and they think digitally, but they can't remember where. So what I was going to suggest to this person is, well, just go through your bookshelf, flip through every page, look at every cookbook, and look in every file in your old computers, because if you didn't give it away to somebody, then that means it's probably still there waiting for you. What do you think? Other questions, suggestions, or encouragement for this person who's about to embark on their journey?
Don't give up.
Man, don't give up. It was $40 of Bitcoin in 2009. What does that say? Crypto asset recovery?
It's backwards, but crypto asset recovery is a business where if you have lost hope in your ability to be able to access your Bitcoin wallet, this company will help you crack that wallet. They have only about a 40% chance of being successful at doing it. They've been in business for a while. And if they do help you open it, you do sign a contract that they get like 25% or half, something like that, of what's in your wallet. That's how they get paid. So like it's like a last ditch effort, right? And they don't get paid unless they're able to open up the wallet. So if you lose all hope in being able to get that Bitcoin out by being able to find your seed phrase and all that, you do have a business you can reach out to.
Now, can you make a video about that, Will? Because there are so many people with names like that who are not legit, who will reach out. If somebody reaches out to you directly, 99.999% of the time, if they have security, expert, cybersecurity recovery in their name, it's a scam. And they're just trying to take advantage of people who've already lost money. So can you make a video about them specifically? Because that's cool.
I would say a good rule of thumb is to absolutely never, under any circumstances, ever trust anyone who reaches out to you offering to help. I would bet money that if crypto asset recovery is a legitimate business, that they are not trolling comment sections and social media and message boards looking for people who are talking about this and then cold DMing them offers to help.
I've never seen them spend a single dollar on marketing. I didn't know about them until I met the father and son who run the business at Bitcoin Nashville.
Will, do you know? And I don't know if we've dove deeply yet, but do you know like what their methodology is, or how any of that cracking works? Because I know I've talked to our dear friend and the most terrifying man I've ever met, Skull Elf, about stuff like this before. Because he's helped, do some like tricky things to help people recover private keys. But I, when he tried to explain it to me, I was like, you know what? Don't waste your breath, dude. You're way over my head here. Yeah,
they explained it. The son, whose name is Charlie, he explained it to me there, and I don't exactly remember what it is, but he did tell me it's like if they're in certain wallets and stuff, like we don't have a shot, but they have to be in like certain scenarios. Okay. But like you can set up a consultation call with them. They'll reach out to you. You get to see if it's worth it or possible or not.
Let's get him on the show.
I would love to get those guys on the show.
And I've tried. I have his email. I don't have his phone number. He's my email is definitely just going directly to. Oh wait, I have his Telegram too. Yeah, I've messaged him on Telegram. I've emailed him before. Nothing. Charlie, fucking up.
Charlie, what the hell?
What the hell? Sonoran wants to tell us thank you for posting your sit down. I think he means the sit down conversation with Commissioner Peirce. Man, what a great time that was, hanging out in Nashville with the commissioner.
I do want to cover a smidge of that here before, at least.
I haven't yet given my thoughts on it either. I was hoping we could give, like, now that we've breathed on it a little bit, some of our takeaways.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Well, then let me open it up by saying, if you haven't seen the conversation yet, it's here on TikTok in a playlist on my profile. You can watch the whole thing. It's up on YouTube, and we are working actively to continue that conversation. So that's part one. Think of it as a series we're starting called "How to Get Hester Peirce on the Rise Up Morning Show After She Leaves the SEC." And even if she doesn't, it'll be a great time to keep the dialogue open. So we sat down with her. It's about a 30-minute conversation. You can hear her talk really cogently about better, helpful regulation and rebuilding trust between crypto investors and the SEC. So definitely check that out. I don't know about you guys, but I was just so impressed by how active the commissioner was then and is to seek out feedback. Loved getting to meet Bill, her counsel, talking about apiary, a shared passion, and the way that she made time for everybody, and not just in a cursory way, but like in a, I don't know, kind of a guerrilla way. We're just going to pick a space on this floor. We're just going to tell people we're here, and we're just going to have some meetings. We're going to shoot first. We're going to ask questions later. And she really was very present for everybody, back to back, from meetings and until I think that evening. So didn't have to do it. Wasn't part of her work schedule. She just made time for it. And I thought that spirit was present in our conversation too. I loved it. Yeah. What did you guys think?
So I do think, go ahead, Will.
I was just going to say, she was very approachable, which is interesting for a government official. And then very knowledgeable about crypto and blockchain technology, and gave me some things to think about, which I think my favorite was her talking about how, like, if the SEC were more willing to actually work and collaborate with people trying to build in the crypto space, they could help provide guidance to people around disclaimers that they could programmatically include into tokens that would like satisfy concerns that the SEC has, about making sure that the American investor is protected and all that kind of stuff. And like that is just seems like a very easy kind of thing to communicate that just like hasn't been happening at all at the SEC, but also like taking disclaimers and regulatory requirements and just initially cooking them and baking them into crypto projects at a code level is really interesting, and it isn't something that I had thought about before. So like I don't know, like that I just thought that was cool, and about like how you could use blockchain technology to still satisfy SEC regulatory frameworks and not have middlemen still to be able to help facilitate that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's interesting to see that this is still possible and all that, So that was cool.
What about you, Al?
Just so in answer to the question, how does she become the chair? Not that easy, unfortunately. She would need to be nominated by the sitting president, and then that nomination would go before the Senate, and the Senate would confirm or deny the appointment. She was already confirmed by the Senate to take her current position after she was nominated for the second time by Trump. The first time she was ever nominated for a seat on the SEC, just for what it's worth, was by Obama years earlier. And that one, the Senate did not confirm because, as we all might remember, the Senate just had a hobby of denying everything Obama tried to do, regardless of whether or not he appointed a literal Republican. So, take that for what it's worth. I'm going to take a quick aside just to wholeheartedly and full-throatedly let Pizza 72 know that I absolutely, under no circumstances, will be giving Soba a look. The hardest of hard passes, my friend. Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah,
Moving
sorry.
on.
We can't talk about tokens that are violating securities laws while we're actively talking about Commissioner Peirce's
derail the conversation about interviewing an SEC commissioner to talk about a straight up crime.
That is interesting timing.
Except to say that it is a straight up crime.
This is your daily reminder that if you are an influencer who has created a token and you're telling people to buy it because it will go up in price, you're breaking the law, and you're leaving a trail of evidence that's better than any breadcrumbs Hansel and Gretel could have left. And
if you would like to employ, if you are one of those influencers and you would like to employ a little bit of what I call third grade logic, that says, well, I didn't specifically say to buy it. But you constantly shilling it and talking about how great it is and how good you are is the implication. And people could reasonably infer, which means that you're still committing a crime. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, so the conversation was fantastic. We barely got started. We could have talked for hours. There are about 400,000 questions that we didn't get a chance to go over. But she also recognized that exact same thing and suggested that we make the trip to DC and schedule a longer sit down, in which she also specifically said it would be fun to do one where we get to like interact with the chat the whole time. Because obviously if you were there this time, the only thing I did in the chat was mute our dear beloved friend Pork, because Pork was having a rough day. As Pork is usually having a rough day. So I'm excited about that. She also suggested, and we have taken the step, so, full warning to all of you guys, to start emotionally and mentally preparing, as I am. She suggested that we email Gary and extend the offer to bring him on. Now, I do want to take a second and at least talk about the way that would go. I'm willing, and I always have been, to sit down and have a conversation with anybody, including people that I have, full-throated disagreements with. I think that the only way this is just a personal opinion. It may not be right, but I personally believe that the only way that you could ever have a like switch in a elected official who believes so strongly in something the way that like Gary does, or the way that like Elizabeth Warren does, or the way that Brad Sherman does, especially something like that's categorically unhelpful and just like, you know, factually incorrect, which just shows that it's mostly, you know, an opinion clouded by bias. The only way that you're ever going to get anywhere with a person like that is to, you know, acknowledge skepticism and sit down diplomatically. Like, the harder you screech at somebody like that and the harder that you insult them, I mean, even if they then were to admit, and Evan, back me up because I know you're a communications guy, like, the harder that you would go after someone like that, the more likely that they are to like double down on the position. And now you're bringing pride and all sorts of other things into the equation. And why would that person ever admit to you that you were right and they were wrong? Like, that there's no indication that that's going to be a helpful or productive discussion. So would I sit down with Gary? In a heartbeat. It would be irresponsible and moronic not to. However, it would be a contentious conversation, I think. I don't know.
Well, there'd be no way to ask him questions without being like, bro, what the fuck? You know, at the very least.
Yeah, but the professional diplomatic version of what the fuck is valid,
yes.
I think. Like, hey, listen, you have, I mean, because there is a few just objective facts that I would want to point out that, like, just to see like a reaction on a face, like, you're aware, right, that the entire industry wants your head, including all of the legitimate, like, good business people who are like trying to innovate and do stuff. Like, if only malicious actors wanted your head, I would say that's a pretty good indication that you're doing something right, but that's not the case. It's quite literally everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't actually think I've ever spoken to a single person who can say with a straight face that he's like doing a good job. And it's weird because it makes no sense when you put all the data together. Like, I would maintain to this day that the course he taught at MIT about blockchain and Bitcoin is
really good.
It's phenomenal. It's one of the best long-form pieces of educational content that exists on the internet for this industry. To this day, it still holds up. And the fact, like, when he was nominated and confirmed, I was overjoyed. I was so excited.
You were all pumped.
Everyone was pumped. That was one of the first videos I ever posted that went any kind of viral, was talking about his appointment and confirmation, and reminding people that they can go take this class that he taught at MIT for free. It's like 20 plus hours of lecture with example. Like, it's a really good class. So it just makes no sense that this is how it went. Like, it seems like went into office, complete flip. Now, there's a ton of stuff that goes on behind the scenes when someone is holding like a high profile political appointed office like that, right? Like, the game of politics is, as the TV show House of Cards gives a little bit of insight to, wildly convoluted. But like, I would love the opportunity to have that conversation, and just, I think it would be a lot more like, you know, with Hester, I kind of wanted to talk more about like specific policy and setting precedent, all this sort of stuff. With him, it would, like Will said, it would be the diplomatic professional version of like, dude, what are we doing? Like, what's the goal? What do you feel like you're accomplishing policing the industry like this? Because your course, which I would refer to like so many, I mean, with direct quotes from him, that like, this is awesome. Look at the things this technology can do. Look at the way that it meaningfully evolves on the way that money has been used from the dawn of time. And how cool is this? Like, what happened to that? How do you get from that to this? Make it make sense for me, because you have a lot of people to answer to. That would be my angle.
I think it's a fine angle. I think framing is everything. Inviting him to take accountability will be so important, and then capitalizing on the opportunity to have a productive discussion with people he doesn't usually talk to personally. You know, he makes those silly TikTok videos and here are 3 ways we're protecting investors at the SEC. You know, it's not his fault. He's got an intern who's telling him to do it. But when he's on C-SPAN, he's not talking to us. When he's talking to Congress, he's in court, he's not talking to us. I think giving him the chance to talk to us and then holding him accountable and inviting him to, you know, explain, maybe we can build a bridge. You know, and if he says something silly, we'll tell him. And if he says something profound, we'll tell him. And
I mean, the value prop for doing something like this is like, hey, you're a government official. As Hester pointed out in the first 5 seconds of us meeting her, like, I work for you. Kyle, that's a great example of something that's unhelpful.
Yeah, I can't do that, Kyle.
But I agree with the sentiment.
Yeah, believe it or not, I actually can't do that. So I don't know. I just, you know,
how I feel about Chair Gensler is that
Evan's gone on quite a journey over the years.
I was like everybody. I was so thrilled, and I was confused, but willing to wait. I was like patient. I was like, let him cook. And there were many times on the show when we would be talking about something the SEC had done or Gary Gensler specifically had done. And I'd be like, I don't know, man. I'm not sure he's a villain yet. I'm not sure this is this. And it just became harder and harder and harder to leave room for ambiguity, to question even his, you know, you don't like to assign motivation to behavior because how can you know what someone's thinking and feeling? Hester said, she said something about her job is about elevating ideas, arguing for ideas. And it's important to be able to have impassioned, sometimes even, you know, strong disagreement with somebody that you respect personally and intellectually. And I can only assume, you know, she's including Chair Gary Gensler in that conversation. And for somebody I respect as much as Hester to look me in the eye and say, like, you know, I have respect for this person. I do too, but it grows harder and harder when he's not open with us. I'm sure Hester has a lot more conversations with him personally behind closed doors that help her to have that intellectual and personal respect for him. And I would like for everyone in the crypto space to be able to have that kind of experience so that we can at least work together more productively as long as he is going to be here to do stuff that's good for all of us.
There are government officials that you can confidently look at and just call them an idiot. Like there are plenty of people who, like Brad,
couldn't help it.
There are plenty of people that you can look at.
That was an easy tee up.
Straight up just say, you know, like, you're an idiot. Like, regardless of your personal feelings and anger, like, Gary is not one of those people. He's not. No, stupid.
He's clearly not just literate, and he wrote the course. You know,
if he was stupid, it wouldn't be confusing. Yeah. Like, it's the only thing that explains the confusion in my mind is he has been tasked to be the guy to slow things down. Yeah.
Or Larry Fink and Wall Street and his people. That is my opinion.
But because that is one of, like, you know, one of my working theories as well. Like, okay, that could make sense. You know, I know that there are lots of, like, you know, hey, vote no on this because of this, do this because of that, like, whatever, you do this, I'll do this. There's a lot of, like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. All of that makes sense. None of that's confusing. But when you're pissing off in this Congress, when you're so aggressively pissing off both sides of the aisle, again, in this Congress, one of the most useless bodies we've ever had hold the title, that makes me think, like, there's something else personal going on. And I don't think it's as, you know, someone made the joke about the French made pictures. I don't think it's that simple.
Yeah.
That's the go-to anytime someone says something that surprises you. You know, Mark Cuban's position, the go-to is dirt. It's like, that's so boring and unoriginal and simple. And I don't think anything is quite that simple when we're talking about something like this, because it's just so weird.
Okay, guys, it's getting to be that time where our dogs and ponies are getting anxious. They're starting to get riled up. People are waking up on the West Coast, so we got to get out of here before they get the hell in. I'm just kidding. I would love to know if people have final thoughts, questions, suggestions, good jokes, words of wisdom. We'll try and get them in the door. I saw people ask, you know, is now a good time to buy Ondo? Is now a good time to long arrow? Will, I wanted to specifically ask you one question. We can maybe do rapid fire before we give final thoughts. Is a lot of people have been talking about Bitcoin dominance. again, that question of what stage of the bull run are we at? When are the altcoins going to pump? And the short-term answer is they'll probably pump when you buy the Rise Up Morning Show mug. But in lieu of that, what's Bitcoin dominance looking like for you, Will? And what are you thinking about it? Because I think your thesis, is we're right on time for the end of the year.
Well, with Bitcoin dominance, I mean, I see it only going up.
It's high, man.
Yeah, but it's
I'm thinking relative to 2022.
I mean, it's the highest it has been since March 22nd, 2021. Yeah, so even longer. But the thing is like, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, there's not a key point of resistance until it's at 62.5%. It's currently at 58.5%. So I see it being able to go up an additional 4% before we see a potential rotation from Bitcoin dominance into altcoins. And also when you look at Bitcoin's chart, you don't really see a reason for money to flow from Bitcoin to altcoins because we're not at price discovery yet. Right now, you're going to see Bitcoin correct 2%. In that time, you're going to see every altcoin correct 20%.
Yeah.
Right now, that's what you're going to see over the next week. So like I would love to buy Aerodrome at about $1. And I have an additional decent chunk of change ready to just boom, go right into Aerodrome, and then I'll be fully in. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it about $1.10 personally. But that's the thing. It's like, you're going to have Bitcoin go down right now, 2%. Altcoins are going to get slammed, and you're going to see Bitcoin dominance keep going up. And then you're going to see Bitcoin start to go up again in price. And Bitcoin dominance will continue to go on the rise until Bitcoin gets into price discovery mode, which is at $72,000. So right now we're in a situation where based on Bitcoin's dominance and where resistance is on the chart at 62.5%, is that what I said? 62.5%. And where Bitcoin's at on its price, there's no alt season happening right now for, the next 2 weeks. When I say right now, I mean like right now, the next 2-3 weeks or so. So like, you have a little bit of time to buy your altcoins because, they need to take a breath. Aerodrome at the very least, and a handful of others that Sui that have been super, super hot need to take a breath before they can continue moving upwards. It's not all up, guys. So, always have a little bit of cash on the side, scoop up the altcoins you want. Altcoins will have their time in the sun if you pick the right ones. And, you just got to be patient because there's nothing on any of the charts right now that say that money is going to rotate out of Bitcoin into altcoins in the near future, but that will happen. It will happen. And I think the first thing that'll be a sign that that's going to happen is when you start to see money flow into the Ethereum ETF, because these institutional investors are very savvy. There's no real reason right now for them to buy Ethereum over Bitcoin, but without staking, but there does become a reason for them to rotate out of the Bitcoin ETF into the Ethereum ETF when they want to get into an altcoin season, because for them, they have too much money to go and buy Aerodrome. They have too much money to go and buy Jupiter, to go and buy meme coins. They need things with higher liquidity. So for them, their only option for altcoin season will be the Ethereum ETF, even if it doesn't have staking. So that's going to be the first rotation that we see, in my opinion. You're going to see people go to their sales rep at BlackRock and say, hey, easily, and they can do this easy. They can't take money out of the Bitcoin ETF super easily and then go onto Coinbase and stuff. There are just a few steps. There are a few steps.
Yeah.
But it's easy for them to go to their BlackRock rep and say, hey, I want to transition half of my Bitcoin ETF position into the Ethereum ETF position. And then that guy goes, great. And he does it for them, right? It's very easy for the consumer. And then you're going to see an alt season start with money going from the Bitcoin ETF into the Ethereum ETF. And you're going to see the Ethereum ecosystem really start to pop off when that happens. So that's what I think is going to happen. When that's going to happen, is it when Bitcoin dominance gets to 62.5%? Maybe it's later, right? We have no idea. But I think when you see the Ethereum ETF start to pop off without it having staking on, that is a signal to everybody that institutional investors are starting to reposition themselves from Bitcoin to Ethereum for an alt season rally.
Well, and when it happens, we're going to be here. We're going to tell you about it. So, gentlemen, my final thought is if you haven't joined the Discord already, if you're one of these people who's got a question, we didn't get to it, don't worry. We want to answer your question. Jump in the Discord. It's totally free at discord.gg/riseup. The only thing that's missing is you. Later today, we are going to drop a link to the Portfolio Principles class, and then we're going to rotate all the Web3 101 classes again. So that if you want live education from us, you want to ask us some personal questions, get dedicated attention and feedback, you can do that. It's all available for you in the Discord community and at the riseupmorningshow.com. And we'll be back tomorrow. So, Alex, what about you? You got a final thought before you ride your dog and pony off into Georgia real estate glory?
Not really. I'm just I'm excited for I'm always ready to get into another week of the show. I'm extremely excited about all of the trading card stuff that we were nerding out over today. Will, I'm sorry, but also you're welcome. And
yeah, fuck you.
I knew that.
Be googling vibes pudgy TCG just like twice a day. Just enter, re-enter. Like, is it refreshed?
Dude, I'm so I'm so upset that I lost that auction because that one card, it was so cool. It's little guy in the hat sitting on top of the van, just like the tiny living vibes with the pudgy penguin. I was really into it, but I missed it. I'm watching a couple other ones, but those auctions don't come up super often. So Junkwax, you did miss it, but don't worry.
Don't fret. We'll catch you up on it.
We will talk about it again.
Go get your show, and maybe I'll pop in there and give you a little overview while Will is frantically searching. And as soon as he gets it, we're taking him on the show to tell you.
As soon as I get a booster box, I'm opening it in a video. We'll see what we get.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Yes. Well, thank you very much, friends, for being here with us, being the very best part of what we do. You absolutely are. Until tomorrow, be safe, have fun, make lots of money, and as always, everybody, rise up.